Welcome back, Wrestling Warriors. Here on Matt Mysteries, we drop fresh WWE news every day. Subscribe, and let's suplex our way into the stories. The tension backstage was unlike anything WWE fans had seen in years. The cameras weren't rolling, but whispers spread through the arena like wildfire. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, had arrived unannounced at SmackDown. But this wasn't about a shocking return or a planned storyline. This was personal. This was about family. Just moments before Jey Uso's highly anticipated match against CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event, Roman and Jey came face-to-face for the first time in months. What happened next could reshape the entire legacy of the Anoa'i bloodline forever. The unexpected reunion. The atmosphere backstage was electric. Jey Uso was preparing for one of the biggest matches of his career, a one-on-one battle with CM Punk, the best in the world. It was a dream match years in the making, one that could define Jey's solo legacy. He was in the locker room, stretching, focused, and calm. Then the mood shifted. The chatter faded. The hallway grew quiet. Out of the shadows stepped Roman Reigns. No Paul Heyman, no Solo Sikoa, no entourage. Just Roman, dressed in black, calm but radiating that familiar aura of dominance that once ruled WWE. Jey froze for a moment, his eyes wide. "You really here?" he asked softly. Roman nodded. For the first time in months, the two cousins stood face to face. There was no hostility, no tension. Only respect. But beneath the silence, there was something deeper. Unfinished business. Roman's message of wisdom. Roman took a deep breath before speaking. "I heard you got CM Punk tonight," he said, his tone steady. "The best in the world, huh?" "That's no small thing, Use." His voice carried both pride and authority, the voice of a man who'd been to the mountaintop and knew the cost of staying there. He stepped closer, his words lowering into a tone only Jey could hear. "Listen, CM Punk plays mind games. He'll try to make you question yourself. But remember who you are. You're not just Jey Uso. You're main event Jey Uso. You earned that because you stood up to me and survived it. You're built different, Use. Don't let him pull you into his world. Make him fight in yours." Jey nodded, humbled. The fire in his eyes softened into quiet respect. Roman wasn't just giving advice. He was passing down battle-tested wisdom. "When I stepped away," Roman continued, "I didn't do it because I was done. I did it because the bloodline needed to grow. You, Jimmy, Solo. You all needed to find your own strength. But you—" Roman paused, pointing to Jey's chest. "You're the one who carries the spirit of this family." For a moment, emotion broke through his composure. Roman wasn't the tribal chief talking to his follower. He was a cousin, a brother, a leader who saw something powerful in the man standing before him. "I'm proud of you, Use," he said quietly. The words that hit harder than a Superman punch. Those 5 words, "I'm proud of you, Jey," carried more weight than any title or accolade. They were words fans never expected Roman to say. For years, their story had been built on dominance, betrayal, and redemption. Roman had demanded loyalty, forced Jey to acknowledge him, and even broken him down in the name of leadership. And yet, here he was, standing before Jey, not as a ruler, but as an equal. Jey's voice cracked as he whispered, "You don't know how much that means, Use." Roman smiled faintly. "I do. Because I've been where you are. I fought for this family, for this name. Now it's your turn to carry it. The sacred ulafala moment." Then came the moment that silenced everyone watching. Roman reached into his bag and pulled out something fans would recognize instantly. The ulafala, The sacred red Samoan necklace. It was the same one Roman wore when he declared himself the tribal chief, a symbol of power, heritage, and leadership in Samoan culture. Roman held it in his hands, his gaze steady. "This isn't about titles anymore," he said. "It's not about who sits at the head of the table. It's about what comes next." He stepped forward and gently placed the ulafala around Jey Uso's neck. The moment felt ancient, a passing of honor from one generation to the next. "Now you have to take our family legacy forward," Roman said softly. Those words echoed through the locker room. The air felt heavier. Those who witnessed it, from crew members to wrestlers, knew they had just seen history. The symbolism behind the gesture. In Samoan culture, the ulafala is more than jewelry. It's a sacred emblem of authority and respect. Only chiefs and elders wear it during significant moments. For Roman to place it on Jey wasn't just symbolic, it was monumental. It meant Roman recognized Jey as someone worthy to carry their family's spirit. But there was something telling about Roman's phrasing. He didn't say, "You're the new tribal chief." He said, "You have to take our family legacy forward." That was deeper than any title. It was about duty, not dominance. Roman wasn't giving up his role, he was extending it, allowing the legacy to evolve through Jey. Jey wasn't being crowned, he was being entrusted. The CM Punk connection. It's no coincidence this moment happened before Jey's match against CM Punk. Roman knew what kind of opponent Punk was. He'd faced him before. He understood the psychological warfare Punk brings, the subtle jabs, the manipulation, the ability to make his rival question everything. So when Roman told Jey, "Make him fight in your world," it wasn't just a pep talk, it was strategy, advice from a man who had faced that storm before. The ulafala wasn't decoration, it was armor, a reminder that Jey was fighting not just for himself, but for generations of pride, strength, and unity. Backstage reactions. As Roman walked away, several figures emerged from the shadows: Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman. Each had a different expression. Solo's face was unreadable. Was he proud? Was he jealous? For months, he had been seen as Roman's potential successor. Seeing Jey receive the symbol of leadership could spark tension or ignite a new rivalry. Heyman looked conflicted, his usual confidence shaken. The wise man had dedicated years to serving Roman's reign. But if Jey now carried the family's legacy, where would Heyman's loyalty fall? Would he adapt or try to restore the old hierarchy? The seeds of a new chapter had been planted, one filled with loyalty, jealousy, and pride. The heart of the moment. What made this encounter powerful wasn't the symbolism or the legacy. It was the emotion. Roman and Jey have fought, cried, and broken each other in the name of family. Yet beneath all the conflict has always been love and respect. When Roman said, "I'm proud of you," it wasn't just forgiveness. It was recognition. It was the moment the student finally earned the teacher's respect. For the first time, Roman wasn't commanding Jey. He was trusting him. Roman's final words before leaving, Roman turned one last time and said, "Remember who you are, Use. Whatever happens tonight, win or lose, the family stands with you." He walked away quietly. No theme music, no spotlight, just silence and respect. Jey stood there, adjusting the ulafala around his neck. His expression said everything. This wasn't about CM Punk anymore. It was about legacy, about carrying his family's honor into the next generation. Roman Reigns may no longer hold the tribal chief's title inside the ring, but his influence runs deep. And with Jey Uso now wearing the sacred symbol of leadership, a new chapter of the Bloodline has begun. The only question now is, did Roman truly pass the torch? Or is this his way of testing Jey's strength before the next great battle? One thing's certain. The story of legacy, loyalty, and leadership is far from over.